All right, so we
Mhm.
are getting live. You seen anything? It takes a minute before you know if it's live.
True. And there we go. We're
Are we
live.
live? All
Yes.
right, brilliant. And so with that, hello and welcome to That Beautiful Life podcast. This is episode 283 of That Beautiful Life podcast. My name is Kadus Campbell, standing here in the beautiful, I usually say sitting, but I'm not sitting because I'm standing here in the beautiful Reading, United Kingdom, talking to the beautiful Roger Bergstrom, also standing there in
hmm
the beautiful Stockholm, Sweden. Rog, how are
Yes.
you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Actually, it's really good. It's been a good week, so to say, since last time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, some fun stuff, and all that beautiful things that we usually talk about in the podcast, which we
Yes.
will, when it comes to what we have been playing, watching, and all that stuff. So, yeah, this could be. What about you? How are you?
I am good. It's
I hope you're better. You had last time you were still having phlegm and coughing and
I still
still
have
kind of,
phlegm.
or?
I still have phlegm.
Okay.
I'm still coughing. It's not as
Mm.
bad as before. I can eat food now, regular food. I'm not just eating soup every day and stuff like that.
Good.
So yeah, I'm back to eating solid food again, which is
Beautiful.
good. I can actually sleep at night, which is also good as well.
Ah, no
I
doubt.
am still using lozenges when I'm going to sleep, but not
Okay.
as aggressively. I can put just one in my mouth and keep it in my on my tongue for the rest of the night, and I'm fine. Which I couldn't do before. Before it would be gone, and I'd be choking halfway through the night. So, yeah, it's good. Q, you definitely need to look at your mic or something. I can hear
Boopity
Roger, but
boopity boop.
he still sounds less loud than. It's that thing from last week again, is it?
That's so
What?
weird.
You know the thing is, it's probably
When did this
because
start?
I know the
Yeah.
reason why that happens. You see, when I'm not podcasting and I use this computer in here, because
Yeah.
this is now Emmy's room, it's sort of like I turn the volume down on the headset after when I'm not podcasting, and because of that, it means that the audio that the viewers are hearing is probably like half the audio it usually is.
Okay.
So I've
Okay.
I've increased it now. But
Okay.
yeah, it's weird that it pulls the audio so like I have to adjust it. I don't remember having to do that in the past, so that's actually interesting.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it goes out right now, but I'm continuing to talk here. Continue to talk a bit here. And
And
hi, Alex. By the way, nice to hear from you. Hope you're fine.
yeah, on my end it
Yeah.
looks fine. I can see the levels. Um
Perfect, says Alex. I guess
okay,
so. That's
brilliant.
good.
So we fixed it. I'm gonna have to check that next time before we start just to be sure because yeah, as soon as the podcast
Yeah.
ends, I switch off the headset and I probably watch something really quietly and then I leave this room because this is Emmy's room. This is where she sleeps. I can't be in here watching videos and playing video games and all that kind of stuff like I used
Right.
to. I go upstairs and I
Of
do
course.
and especially this past week I've lit. It's been so hectic. I have had so many things going on. I told you a bit of it. I'm not gonna share it on
Yes.
the podcast at this point in time. But yeah, it's been hectic. This whole week has been a very very busy week for me. Yesterday was even more so because Ty had a thing in school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, weird situation. Alex calls me and she's like, "Oh, Ty had there were these I got a call from his school and they said he
Mm-hmm.
ingested aqua beads." I'm like, "What the hell's aqua beads?" And she's like, "Oh, it's like these things, those beads that you add water to it and they swell. That kid."
Oh, okay.
So I was like, "Sorry, what? Where did he get that
Yeah.
from?" So I'm
Yeah.
starting to think because it said him and a friend. So I'm like, "What? Did they bring this to school? Because we don't have that at home." So I'm like, Did
Right.
his friend bring this to school and they just started playing with this? Why is he eating that? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
there like thinking about this whole thing and starting to think, okay, so like I start Googling, you never go
Yeah.
down the Google rabbit hole because Google is gonna tell you everything. Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's dangerous to do that. I
you're
mean,
like
it's.
you are gonna be dead in 2 seconds. So I start googling
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, it could do this and it could do that and it gets stuck there and it will swell up in his stomach and explode. And I'm just like, oh
No,
my
come on.
god. So I'm like, okay, at that point in time, because Alex was saying to me, I'm gonna go to the school and get him because the school called me and then I'm gonna take him to the hospitals, right? And then I start while I'm googling, it says in an emergency like that, the school is supposed to call the hospital and have an ambulance pick up the child, not call the parents first. So I'm like, what the
Really?
hell? Yeah, because if you have an emergency with something that you could choke or whatever have you,
Yeah.
does it make sense to call the parents and wait for the parents to get to the school?
No.
Or does it
No,
make sense
no.
to get the child to the hospital
It's
and inform the
it has to go
parents?
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to, because it's an emergency. You take the child to the hospital and then you inform the parents to come and be
Exactly.
there with the child. But in the end, Alex took him to the hospital, and they were waiting, her, Emmy, and him. And the whole time I'm in work Googling stuff, and I'm just like going down a rabbit hole. I can't focus. So at that point in time,
Of course.
I decide, I speak to one of my colleagues, our health and safety officer, and he says, he's like, look, if it was me, I would just leave and go. And I was just like, yeah, I can't. Like, at first I tried to go to my desk and see if because Alex was saying to me, no, it's fine. I'll deal with it. You just stay and work.
Yeah, right.
But the whole time I'm sitting at my desk, I'm just thinking, what if he chokes or something? What if it explodes in him? And then I'm thinking about, Emmy's not supposed to be in the hospital around sick people. And Alex is probably in pain because she's saying that she hasn't slept much. And she's probably not had lunch because it's just lunchtime. All these things are swimming through my head. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to leave. So I sent an email to my manager, and I saw her on the way out. I just told her that I was leaving. And I headed out, I grabbed my stuff and I left the office.
Yeah, right.
Got on the train, got back home. And I got straight to the hospital. Sorry, I went in town. I called Alex. I was like, have you seen the doctor yet? No. Have you eaten? No. Okay, I'm going to pick up lunch for you. So I picked up lunch for her, got to the hospital. Because at first she was like, no, don't bring me anything. I can't touch anything. The hospital's dirty. I was like, I'll get you a wrap. Can you eat a wrap? Yes, I can eat a wrap. Okay, cool. Got a wrap. Got her to the hospital. And yeah, when I got there, I was like, can you take Emmy and just go? Like, I don't want to hear it's that thing. I'll stay with Ty and you can go ahead. And it took a while to try to convince her, like, please take Emmy and go. And then inevitably she was like, okay, cool, I'll take her and go. And then not too long after they left, they were trying to get a taxi. The doctor calls Ty. And I'm like, crap, now I have all this stuff with me. I've got the baby seat. I've got my backpack. I've got Emmy's backpack. I've got my bike. And I'm trying to grab everything, and the doctor's holding the door first. And then there's a lady who's looking at me, and she's there with her sick son. And I was like, would you mind watching my bike for me? She's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I left the bike with her. I ran in the room with Ty. The doctor saw him. He asked him, he's like, tell me about what happened. And Ty said, well, I was playing with these aquabees with my friend and blah, blah, blah. And then my friend had some, and then I was going to have some, but I didn't. And because I was like, Ty, just be honest with the doctor, please. He was like, okay. He's like, I was gonna have some, but I didn't. And I told the teacher initially that I did, and then after I told the teacher that I didn't, so that I was like, we don't know, because he does lie, so we don't know if he's to being honest or not.
Okay.
So it was just sort of a thing where the doctor said he checked his stomach. He asked him a few questions, the whole things that doctors do, and then he was like, from what I can see, it looks like he's fine. Just monitor him for the next few hours and see if he complains about any stomach pains or anything like that. And then if he does, bring him back in. So I was like, okay, cool. So we can go? He said, yes. Okay, cool. So I was like, all right, cool. We're going home. So I called Alex. I was like, hey, we're about to leave the hospital. She's like, oh, we're still here. We couldn't get into a taxi because they won't let me into a taxi without a car seat. Because I asked her, I was like, can you get into a taxi? Because she had Emmy strapped to her chest with that strappy thing that,
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I should be fine. All right, cool. And they won't let her in without a car seat. So I was like, okay, fine. We're just leaving now. So we met up with her, got a taxi, strapped her in. She cried the whole way home. You could see when Emmy's crying, like she's terrified. She's like, no, baby, don't cry.
Okay.
I'm on the other hand, like, I am accustomed to babies crying. Like when Ty was younger and he would cry, I would just be like, look, let him cry. He's a baby. Let him do their baby thing. Like exactly. I can sleep through the cry as long as I do my checks, nappy change, fed,
right? Exactly.
As long as you've done all that kind of stuff and you're good, cry. Like I'm good. I'm not gonna I'll cuddle you. I'll hold your hand. I'll make sure you're okay. But I am okay with the cry. Alex is not. She is like, oh my gosh, the baby needs me. I must hold her. I must cuddle her. I must love her. So she's that mummy stuff. So
I was just about to say it's a bit most likely a difference there. It's like mommy daddy thingy.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yes, it's a
Yeah,
mummy
but this
thing.
is wow, what a story. I mean, then I understand. You said a busy week. Now I totally understand, especially because yesterday, even though we talked a bit before the podcast, and yes, you've had things to do and all that stuff, but this is another kind of a stress, if
Yes,
you put it like that. That could be very, oh my God.
it
I'm glad
was.
that everything went well.
It was quite a
But
thing. By the time we got back, I actually fell asleep on the sofa with Emmy on my
I totally
chest.
understand
She
that.
was just laying on my chest as a sort of like she had her hands like that and her legs all
No,
scrunched up, and she was just sleeping on my chest. And I had her there for like a bit. I think I put her on the telly, and I
right.
just fell asleep in front of the telly with her, and woke up a little bit while later, and she was
Oh, that's
there. And
beautiful. That's so nice. That is one of the things I can, because those things I can recall, that feeling when you have the baby on your chest laying down, maybe
mhm.
watching something or what, just lying there, the warmth and the being close to the baby, the smell of the baby and the
Ah.
small sound,
Eh, eh, eh,
eh, eh,
eh,
being like
eh.
a little alien creature.
I was literally saying that to Alex and Emmy today. She's like a
Yeah.
Dalek from Doctor Who. Exterminate,
Yeah,
exterminate.
there we go.
She's
Yeah,
got
it's a
her
bit like
little
that, isn't
hands are
it?
like shaking, and she's like,
Ah, ah.
eh, eh.
Oh man.
And her eyes are like looking around, and she's like, she can't focus
Yeah,
on
yeah,
anything
yeah.
for
I
long.
totally feel you. I understand what you mean. Been there, done
Yes.
that. Had
Yep.
that experience.
Oh,
You want,
beautiful.
you want, you start to wonder, where are they really from? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like
Alien
another
babies.
species for a while. Yeah.
Yep, and then they start getting like real thought and proper
Exactly.
behavior, and they start
Yeah, and also say words, especially the first time they say like dad or mom or something like that. That's like, oops,
I wanted to
you
say
know.
chicken first because I call Alex the chicken. So I want to. I've been saying to her, I've been like, Dada, chicken, Dada,
Mm.
chicken. So let's say this is Alex. Alex is here sitting next to me, and I'm like, Dada, chicken, Dada, chicken. So
Oh, there we go.
I'm hoping she
Yeah.
starts calling her mother chicken because it
All
would.
right. We'll see about that.
I know it would annoy the hell out of Alex, but it would humor me so much.
I see what's going on here now.
Oh,
Already before she's even like half a year or something.
I'm plotting.
You
I've
guys.
already done it with the boys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
I hear
know,
it. I hear it.
she's
Yeah.
she's no different. I've got to get her indoctrinated in the whole team effort of of having a laugh at Alex's expense.
Of
It's
course.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very
But
beautiful.
again, I'm glad to hear that turned out well. That was a tough one, to be
Yes,
honest.
yes, quite a. It
Darn it.
was quite a day. Got into work this morning. Did the whole week at 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Not really. Just as I say,
But
today was
more of a half normal day until later. But that's something you and I talked about. So
yes,
whatever.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and then had a some toast with excuse me, with cheese and egg on it. So like
Yeah.
it's kind of like French toast. Yeah, with the egg, we soak it in the egg, and
Ah,
then
okay. Yeah.
yeah, Alex made some of that, and we had that
Mm,
for dinner. Her and I had that, and yeah, we was just chilling with Emmy, just relaxing. So
good.
it's not too bad. I mean, it does. I do feel like I can breathe now because with everything that I've been
Yeah.
doing for the whole week so far, I felt like I couldn't breathe for a while. I would come in and I
Sure.
would just my brain was just packed. I'm on the train and it's packed, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it,
You get in that kind of motion and also mindset where you start to think too much about the next thing, the
Yes,
next thing, the next thing. I can recognize myself in that sometimes. It hasn't been so much like that right now, but I'm getting into that a bit now. I felt it a bit today. I explained why. But it's I know exactly what you mean.
yeah,
It's and you know it. I like mental wise and intelligence wise, IQ wise. You know what's going on,
yeah.
but it's even so hard because I mean, also you kind of check the time a bit more and okay, oh yeah, right, I have to, and then so it's it's
You're thinking about it like I
yeah.
think one night this week I stayed up. I think I stayed up till around 2 a.m. because I needed to complete something, and I
Yeah,
was
okay,
up until 2 a.m. this week. It had to do with the conversation I spoke to you about before.
exactly.
And I was up till 2 a.m. and then I had to get up. I got up at
Uh,
five
yeah, yeah,
thirty.
that's very tough. That's very tough. Oh
So
man, then
it was hard because I woke at 5:30, partially because I couldn't sleep, but also because of the fact I needed to have a shower because I came in from work and didn't have a shower, and I need to go to work the next day. So it was a thing whereby I could go to work without having a shower for the most part, but I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I was just like, I have to have a shower
Yeah,
today
right.
before going to the office, because I have had days. There was one day I got to the office and I didn't have I forgot to put on deodorant, and halfway through the day I could smell myself. Like I could just
Mm.
like, what is that smell? You know, because in the morning it's cold, but as the day goes on, because we've got heating in the
Yeah,
office, it gets warmer and warmer, and then you start
right.
feeling the sweat, like, and I'm just like, ooh,
Okay.
ooh,
Mm.
I am gonna stink. So I went to Tesco's and bought um, I bought some deodorant. I bought a
Yeah.
deodorant to put it on, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to. I actually was on a. I spoke to a friend of mine on my lunch break that day. You know her, Katami, and
Mm.
so we spoke on the phone. I was actually telling her about Emmy, and I was asking her, I was telling her about the whole not having deodorant on, and she's like, oh, Q, you know what? You gotta get this thing. So I'm in the shop and I'm on the phone with her, and she's like, you wanna get antibacterial wipes, right? And then you wipe that off first, and then you put the fresh deodorant on. Because if you put the fresh deodorant on the stinky arm, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be stink on sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I can't find the antibacterial wipes. I'm only finding regular wipes. She's like, okay, new plan, right? You just buy the regular wipes and you buy hand sanitizer and you mix the two. And that will make antibacterial wipes. And I was like, oh, brilliant plan. I'll have to do that. So I buy that. Sorry, pick that up, and I'm about to leave the shop. And then I see a section of the shop that has like makeup and stuff like that for ladies. And I was like, let me just wander around here. Oh, I found the antibacterial wipe. She's like, oh, brilliant.
Ah.
So I'm not going to walk all the way back to put that other stuff back. I just dropped it there on that shelf. And I was like, right, I'm out. Peace. So I took that, went back to the office, went to the toilet. I hung up the coal and I wiped my armpits off and then put on the deodorant. And I was like, okay,
Good.
I can make it through the day for the rest of the day. According to one of my other mates, Nick, he was saying to me, "Oh, this is why you gotta have like a bag on you with, you know, like a man bag with like deodorant and stuff." I can't do that. Like, and here's the reason
No.
why. Here's why I can't do it. I used to do it when I worked in Oxford, because I would cycle really hard and I have a shower at the office.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
I won't do that now because of the fact that that's gonna eat up space in my backpack where I can have my Steam Deck. And if I have to choose
True.
between having my Steam Deck and a shower bag, the Steam Deck, because I'm gonna use the
Of
Steam Deck
course.
more than the shower bag, you know, on average. Or
Easy.
if
Yeah.
I get stranded somewhere, like let's say we have a apocalyptic thing and zombies attack or something, at least I'll have my Steam Deck to play. I will not need the shower bag anymore because it would be the end of the world, and I wouldn't care if I stunk because no one's gonna be smelling me.
Exactly. No one would care. Yeah, exactly.
No one would care. I'd just be a stinky person at that point in time because it's the end of the world, you know. So, but at least I'd have my Steam Deck for the first few hours of
course.
survival or something. I could actually play something and be like, "Oh, remember back in the day when we could play these things?" You know. So
Exactly. Nostalgia at the
gosh,
end. Yeah.
that's the plan. That's the plan. By the way, welcome to the chat, Nalu and Alex.
Yes.
We can
Hi,
see the
Nalu.
chat. We've just been
Yeah,
in this.
we watched the chat. We know that you're here. We
Yes.
just need to finish some topics for sure.
I am not feeling pressure
hope you're
from
fine.
being a girl dad, by the way. I think, you know, for me, I think being a girl dad is no different than being a boy dad, except for the fact that at some point in the future you will have to strangle someone. But
I was just about to come to that. I was just about to come to that. Look at that.
In the future, some boy is gonna come wrong, and you're gonna have to be like, yeah, I'm sorry, mate. You know, like you gotta have all your male friends around. If you've ever seen, there's a scene from a film or a TV series with 50 Cent. I don't know what the series is, where he's playing a character where this guy comes in. You could probably Google it. He comes in to take his daughter out, and 50 sort of says, "Let me just talk to him for a sec." Yeah, and he's like, "Come on." He takes the boy into a room, right? And because he's like taking him out, and the boy has like his little triangle tie in there and stuff like that. In the room is all these tough looking guys. They just look big and swole, and some of them have face tattoos and stuff, and they're just looking. Everyone just sort of crossed arm and just looking at him so mean, like, yeah. And the whole time, 50's like, so he's the boy standing there. He's like, so for the past 16 years. I have had to look after her and take care of her and stuff like that. You know, 50 Cent talks already, so calm.
Yeah.
It's like, but now it's your turn to take care of her. You know, and he reaches into the guy's pocket and stuffs the flag down, the tie, the sort of triangle, and then he stuffs it down while he's talking to him. He's like, he's like, so you're gonna make sure and that my baby girl is properly taken care of, right? And the boy's like, I'll have her back by 11, you know.
Of course, stressed. Yeah.
And then one of the other guys, the tough guy, he runs up her, and the other guy holds him back. He's like, "Oh, calm down, dude." And then the guy is like, the kid's like, "Oh yeah." He runs outside to the girl, and he's like, "Yeah, gonna be back by we'll be back by 11 for sure." You know. And at that point in time, when the boy leaves, all of them in the room are laughing. 50 other guys are just like, yeah, they're laughing because they've intimidated him enough that they're like, you know what, he'll do the right thing. He won't cross the boundaries with her. So yeah, that's gonna be me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's gonna be me, you, Xavi, Ty, Lex, Ash, Ray, the whole brotherhood. We're just gonna be standing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first guy comes in and we're just like, I'm gonna have to stuff his tie in, Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hold you back.
Exactly. Yeah, you will have to do that. I'm like,
but yeah, no, it's honestly, it's nice. She's at the innocent, perfect stage where she's just an innocent little person that just all she cares about is eating, cuddles, and just being held. Like she loves being held, and I love holding her, and she's too cute. Today Alex sent me a picture of her. She was of her with holding her head up on her own, and I was like, did she do that on her own? And she was like, yeah, she just did it. I was like, oh my gosh, she held her head up on her own. I was so excited. I was like, amazing, So yeah, it's so nice. It's so nice when they start doing stuff. It takes me back to like when Ty was younger and he started speaking and stuff, and I was like, oh, he can use words and stuff. He can do proper wordage. He's like putting sentences together, And like when he was younger, he used to say this thing all the time. He used to be like, "Why?" So every time he told him something, like, Ty, you can't have that cookie. Why? Yeah, because you can't have too much sugar. It's not good for you. Why? And it's just like that was all he said that all the time. It was it was the most adorable but infuriating thing at the same time because you had to keep answering. But he was so cute when he did it. Yeah. So yeah, it's
there you go. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, Alex, what you're saying. Yeah, we take it as a compliment. Of course, we're not those bad-looking guys.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Maybe we could. But but either way, the thing you're describing, exactly. The thing you're describing kind of makes sense. I just remember. I mean, I have an older sister, right? She's 5 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember to this day that definitely my dad was, it was obvious that it was a different kind of relationship with her than with me.
Yeah.
Not that like prioritize or favorize or anything. No, they didn't do that. But it was more like, okay, he was definitely, with a smile on his face, of course. But deep inside, I think even so, it was like, yeah, but okay. You'll be back by 11, right? Things like that. And she's going with a friend to somewhere, and because we lived in the countryside outside of the smaller city of Skellefteå where I grew up. So they either have to, take a bus or something to go into the city, whatever they did. So, and maybe later that evening, my dad, they were nice in that way. They took the car many, many late evenings and picked up my sister and later on also me. The difference though was my sister and her best friend went on, to place and they were dancing and looking at guys, right? They picked me up because I'd had a gig, a late gig, because I started to play music so early. So it was kind of a different thing. But it's so typical. They were more, I mean, it's interesting. It's so interesting. I can only remember one thing that my mom said, like passing through, like we were making laundry. I was helping her a bit with laundry. It was home from school. I don't know why. Maybe I was sick. And I was like 14, 15, and I had a girlfriend at that time. That was my first real love, like when you feel like, oh, yeah. And she was like, so you're doing fine, right? Yeah. And you are protecting yourself, right? And I was like, what? Yeah, this meant you're protecting yourself, if you have, when you have sex. Mom!
Alex tried to have that talk with Xavi the other day, and I was just like, Alex, you can't have that talk with him. That's for me to have. Like, when Emmy's older, that's the talk you have with her. For me, at this stage, it's easy if
Mhm.
I have that conversation with Xavi. It's guy to guy. We can have a chat and be like, yo, you know what?
Yeah,
You know what you
could have
gotta
been.
do?
My dad never mentioned something like that ever. It was my mom. Only once. It was only that thing. Only then. Never again. Just that.
I've had to step in and had the chat with Xavi, but after Alex had already started it, and then I was like, let me deal with this. And then I pop it out like, look, so here's the deal. What's going on here? Okay, cool. Blah, blah. Why did you tell your mom
Mm.
this? You know what she's like? Okay,
Right.
so here's the thing. This is this and that is that. No, because Alex and I had an arrangement from since Xavi was younger. We said, look, when he's old enough, we'll just buy some contraceptives, put it in a jar, and just leave it in his room
Mm.
for him to use. Now, granted, he shares a room with Ty, so I can't just do that. I'll have to go
No,
in his drawer because
that.
Ty will think it's
Yeah.
a toy or something or whatever have you.
Yeah. Balloons.
So we would have to like in that case, we'd have to put it in his drawer or whatever have you in his wardrobe
Yeah.
where he can then, if he needs use kind of thing. I still, at the end of the day, he's still a like you still talk to him and say, hey, you know what, focus on school and all that kind of stuff. But you know what, as
Exactly.
we've all been kids at some point in time, you can't stop what will happen will happen. The only thing you can
Sure.
do is try to make it as safe as possible. I think that's the only thing you can do as a
Yeah.
parent, unfortunately. And other than that, it's just educating your kids as much as possible growing up so that
Exactly.
they will make good decisions.
Without any like, yeah, as it is, as natural, no drama, no nothing. Just educate. Very, it's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, exactly.
So
And I think the thing too as well, like being a I think like with what you were saying before about like with your dad and your sister, I think being a girl dad is like I feel more protective over
yeah,
Emmy than I do with Savvy and
exactly.
Ty. Like and I say this in
Yeah.
the sense of like not that I'm not protective of them. I've had
No,
many a
it doesn't
time
have
where
anything to do with that. It's just
boys are like you expect that they're gonna be able to like handle things, because as a guy it's like you get to a point where because like when Savvy was younger there were times when I'd have to go to his school because someone was picking on him and I had to like protect him in that sense, but at the same time I would go and protect him, but at the same time I'm like, Savvy, you need to stand up for yourself, like don't just let them push you wrong, and if they push you push back, so it was like, yeah, I'm gonna come in to protect you if someone attacks you, but at the same time I want you to be able to defend yourself because you got to be a man, with a girl, it's like, no, like I don't need to tell you that. Like, what? Someone hit you? Oh well, I'm sorry, baby. Let me just grab my knife and my axe and where are you right now? Oh right, yeah, of course. It doesn't matter if you're 35. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. I'll be there with my axe. It's as simple as that. Whereas with Xavi, he's 16 now, and it's like if someone pushes him, like, how big is this guy? Like, I mean, how old
Mm.
is he your age? Come on, mate. You could take that guy. Look at him. I mean, if someone is bigger than him and tries to push him around, then I'm gonna have to fight with my son. But I'm gonna. But if it's wrong, I'm like, defend yourself. You got to be able, because sometimes Xavi and we wrestle. Like I'll sneak up behind him, I'll grab him in a headlock, and I'll be like, how are you gonna protect your girlfriend, Xavi? Come on.
Mhm.
What if I was a guy stealing her from you? And he's like, he's trying
But bro,
to.
it's I mean that's one part of it, but it's not only that. Isn't it also so as a man, as a boy, you can identify yourself with your sons a bit
Yes,
more because you've been there, you've done that. But at the
exactly.
same time, as you mentioned with Savi being in his age now, you also start to understand what the hormones are doing, what they
Yeah.
start to see when they look at a girl. It's not like long, oh, she's just annoying. I play
Mm.
with my boyfriends over here, my
Mm-hmm.
pals in the class because yeah, girls are just, they are, I don't understand girls. But all of a sudden it's like, oh, she's cute, I should
Yeah.
talk to her. It kind of, and that that's your experience also, most likely ish. So of course I can understand my dad too. He knew that at some point there, boys would start to look at his daughter in
Mm-hmm.
that way, and
Mm-hmm.
he wants to make sure that it's not bad for her, And
Yep.
I can, I just, it's
it is
that.
the curse of being a girl dad, the beautiful curse of it all, where you have to, as a guy, what is coming, but at the same time, you can't stop it because they are
Yeah, it's
they
the
it's part
part
of
of the
life.
evolution and life,
It is.
It's like It is what it is, but I can totally understand the difference. Even though I have two sons, so I haven't experienced what you are. Well, we don't have to talk about too much. That is like
She's
13
got a few years before she
years,
gets to that point.
14
I've
years
got a
ahead.
few
So
years of bliss before I have to worry about that.
exactly,
You
yeah,
know. So yeah, I will then before then I'll be crossing the bridge with Ty as him getting older and actually starting to like girls when
yeah,
he is, at 16 or whatever age he gets to, where he starts thinking, oh, I think I want to have
yeah,
a girlfriend or something like that of the sort,
exactly.
because Tavi is 16 now and he's at that stage where he's like, oh, I really like her, so yeah, that's it's cool. It is what it
It's cool. It is what it is.
So
Enjoy whatever. But my saying is, and it goes also a bit into what you and I discussed before. Being home with your child,
mhm,
if possible, due to work and how that system works. I was just bragging a bit about the system we have in Sweden, which is very generous when it comes to being off work as a parent.
yeah,
But I say it and I say it again: take the chance, do
spend.
it.
Mhm,
Those days, those years early
mhm,
on, and that development that goes so fast within the two first years of
mhm,
having a baby. It's like it never comes back, and it's like quite of a rare time, so to say, being having that baby, because then the baby starts to become a bit more of a child, if that makes sense. And
mhm,
the difference between being 3 years old and 4 isn't like a super big thing, if that makes sense. So, but being like 6 months and
mhm.
becoming 1.5 years, that's a huge difference.
It is.
So, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah,
Even
take
going
care of
from
that.
from 1 year to 2 years is quite a significant jump, because like I remember
Absolutely.
being stuck in Trinidad during COVID and not seeing Ty for like that whole year. And well, not when I say not seeing him, like we spoke on the phone every day, but just coming back
Yeah.
and seeing how he had grown, and he was more active and he could speak more and he
Mm.
could do more, and it was just sort of like, oh my god, he's
Yeah.
more of a person.
Mm.
And walking in and seeing Savvy's a bit taller, and like, bloody hell, what have you been eating? you know so yeah, kids grow up quick, like no matter
Oh, they do.
what
They
age,
do.
they grow so quickly. If you're a parent and you just take a year from your kids and you come back, you're gonna come back and find a different person. Like they grow
True.
so
But
quickly.
as you described also, it's not only about the actual years, because I mean, everyone is an individual and they
Hmm.
also develop a bit different
Yeah,
depending on a lot of things. Also, being a boy and a girl is a difference, right?
yeah.
So, but I would say though that the first, and many scientists have said this too, like the first 2 years
Hmm.
of your life, that's when you get the most impressions you will get ever in your life
Hmm.
as a whole.
Yeah.
So the first 2 years, you get more impressions overall than you get for the rest of your life, even
Hmm.
if you live like up till you're 86 or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
But because it is everything is new, all the synapses have to respond and react like, whoa, 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 a cat, whoa. It's so much new things coming all the time. Imagine. It's easy to forget, right? But
Hmm.
these babies, I can understand why they are. The system is it's like a hard drive
It's
going on.
overloaded.
Yeah, it's almost overloaded. I
Yeah.
hope they don't get a blue screen or something. So it's it's a lot to digest. That's
Yes,
mainly what I was saying.
it
And I
is.
also agree. Good comments that you're making there. I see what you have been writing about it. So it's true. But we should also move on. We need to move on.
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
Yeah. Again, good comment, Alex. Good to teach the boys consent. As you know, as a guy dad, I do teach my sons about that kind of stuff. It's important. You know,
yes, it is.
you
Yeah.
gotta protect girls, but girls are amazing, and you have to, there's still the desire for them, but you have to be protective and respectful to them at the same time. So yeah,
Absolutely. Mm.
it's a balance, beautiful balance.
It's a balance always. Yeah.
So, Raj, your week,
Yeah.
sir. You have been doing what? This is the first time in a while that I have absolutely no idea what you've been doing this week, because usually I have some idea of something that
Yeah.
you've been doing. Either maybe a birthday's been going on, or maybe you're working on something or whatever. So I generally have an idea, or we've spoken in the week. We have not.
Right.
We've not spoken this
No.
week. I have no idea
No.
what's
No.
going on with you. What have you been up to?
When it comes to music, which is most of the days nowadays, so to say, I've been taking up a trailer that I started to do for this other library. But since I went on to with this album with that is now finished, but I'm getting to that, then I didn't get so much time. So I started to do that, and I have also been like in a waiting room, so to say, when it comes to getting the final information about the final delivery of all these files that I'm now about to render or export from all the projects when it comes to these cues or tracks I've been making.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot.
How does this
And
waiting room work exactly? Like, is it like you upload your files and you wait for it to go through? Like, when you say waiting room,
no,
I'm not
no.
sure I understand.
What I meant with that is that I might have said last week that there was like, it's been so intense from mid-September
Mm-hmm.
until like mid-February. But
Yeah.
then it started, I mean, I was approved, all the tracks were approved. And then I needed to read information of how, like the technical
Mm-hmm.
mumbo jumbo about how the format of the files and
Mm-hmm.
what they expect when it comes to, it's called stems.
Mm-hmm.
Stems is literally when you bounce or export each channel
Mm-hmm.
in your DAW, like
Yeah.
the digital workstation you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can just tell you that almost all of these tracks that I've been doing have around 100 channels. So it's quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to make sure that you have named them right so they get into the right category because they have a system, and this might be different, but they work over Dropbox. So
Mm-hmm.
I basically get like a template that I use with folders and subfolders
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to like full mix, alternate mix,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if that's needed, and all these stems in
Mm-hmm.
different forms, both the individual, but then I have to pair them together. So let's say in this case it's horror music, right? So it's not going to be like guitar, drums, vocals. You know, it's more like drones, growl, scream, riser, hits, booms, whooshes, swooshes, and the list goes on, right? So that's more. But so I have to label them and then also export all the categories like in one file. So I have just in the top of my head, I was thinking, okay, this is going to take a week or two, maybe
Yeah.
2.5, I would say. Also, Eastern is coming in now late, like
Ooh.
next week, at the end of next week. So I've had, this is the first time I do it, and they know that. So they've been very kind. They've been very, how do you say, supportive when it comes to explaining.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have documents that you get and you read,
Mm-hmm.
but even so, there's always questions coming up. So I have. I have had some additional. That's why I got a bit stressed talking about, when you start to like, oh God, how am I going to manage? Like managed, yes, but in what way? And what about this then? So I put together all the questions. I got answers yesterday. I asked a bit about some more things, but now I think I know. So I was start. What I did today then, since I couldn't start to export files before I knew that I had named them correctly and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. What I did is that I went through the first two, like one and two, the first track and the second track, went through all the 100 channels and renamed some of them,
Mm-hmm.
and also listened, because you got to be aware of that sometimes in these kind of digital workstations there might be miss sounds, like
Mm-hmm.
a digital like crack or something
Mm-hmm.
that can occur when you record stuff and make sounds and things like that. So you got to listen what you carefully, and sometimes also make like small fades in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning or the end of a like sound or whatever have you when you have recorded. So make sure that it's smooth and everything. A question, Ali? No, it's not. No, this album is exclusively for this music library.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely let you know when it's out there, when they are done with the artwork and have everything in order, so you can go and listen. I mean, granted, I mean, listen to to 12 horror tracks that might be a bit different, but sure, I definitely will let you know.
Mm-hmm.
As you've understood, it's production music, and hopefully, if I'm lucky, up to sky, then someone in the industry over there might think that this is a good match for
You're
the trailer.
always I
Who
think
knows?
I think you've got an angel on your shoulder, in the sense that there's always, I think the quality of the stuff you put out there someone is gonna notice. Someone is gonna see it and think, you know what, this is pretty cool. Because I just remember, like, like before when you worked at Chromata, like you guys would, I mean, you've done everything with them, and then when you started doing music with Maria, and you guys were, you were hitting some charts in Sweden and all that sort of stuff as well at the same time. So I think it's gonna be no different. I think as long as you put it out there and it's ready to be accessed and used, I think someone or the other is gonna find it and think, this is good enough for whatever I'm creating. Who knows? Maybe it's Isaac. Maybe he's making his next big film. He's decided, I'm making a film and I need this particular music in my film. Or maybe someone's making a game or something and they're like, I need this for my game. I need this song. This is gonna be it.
Yeah. That's also something I will look into when this album is done. Because I mean, the good thing, as I said, yes, they have been very pleased with the result, and I've got the request to make another album. However, he was very he understands that I need to rest my mind a bit after this experience, so it's not going to happen in like a month or two, I guess. But also in a different genre. He made a joke about it. He said maybe in a more, how did he say, more, well,
Like
I
Disney or
don't remember what he
something.
wrote, but maybe more of a relaxed genre, or something else. Definitely, we'll see. But talking about Isaac, moving on, I also want to say, so that's been my focus, like the technical aspect right now. Before getting into it, I just want to make this job, like I want to finish it, right?
Yeah.
But also been rehearsing with the new constellation, which is new in the way that this older keyboard player that I used to play with in Capital 59, Janne, we have this trio with me, him, and the bass player from Cap 59. So that's fun. We are exploring music and whatever have you.
It's
Uh,
beautiful. That is so. Again, it's so nice. Like, I was talking to, who was I talking to? I don't know if I was talking to Alex or someone else, and I was just saying, you know what, like, I'm doing a job right now that I have to do because I need to pay the bills, but I'm not in love with it, in the sense that, it's not in an industry that I'm like, I'm fascinated about on the day to day, because I mean, it's not a fascinating industry. It's something that you just do. I do my
yeah.
best at my job. I try to put my best foot forward, but at the same time, I'm not waking up in the morning thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to work,
No.
kind of thing. And I think it's sort of a thing whereby, when you're doing something that you're really passionate about, and being able to do the thing that you love for your life, for work, for life, and so forth. I think that is an amazing thing, because you love music and you've been able to pursue that for your life so far, and that is the coolest thing ever. So.
Yeah, it is. No, I've been, and we've talked about this before. I've been very fortunate, especially the timing that happened. Me being, in the Royal Academy and got
Mhm.
this request, becoming a member of this group, like Chromata. So, yeah, it was a once in a lifetime experience for sure.
Mhm.
This though is a new part of the music business that I haven't been into for a long time. So it's, and of course sometimes I can miss the regular job in a way, because you can go to work and you can work, or maybe have a decent day, and you still earn the same money
Mhm.
as you did the day before when you were working your ass off. There's no difference. For me with this, it's always about what I make.
Yeah.
I can never be lazy.
Mhm.
I can't. I have to be like on top of things all the time.
Mhm.
That's a good thing in some ways, but
Mhm.
it can sometimes also be a bit stressful, because
Yes.
it's related to what my income might be and become.
Mhm.
So it's correlates to that all the time. So it was some good questions here that I missed. I think you Alex went into like talking about how easy is it to create same sounds and think it's a new tune.
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure what you mean with that.
I think
Do you
I
mean
think
like,
is, if you
are you thinking about AI or
no, I
no?
think she's talking about, like, let's say for example, you're making music and you're creating a sound. Let's say for example, you create a scream, but you need to
Yeah.
create a variant of that, of a scream. So
Hmm.
maybe you do one scream that sounds really high pitch, and maybe one that's a low pitch scream or something.
There you go.
How easy is it to sort of, at least I think that's what her
Yeah.
question is. But how is it?
That's a good one. Oh, now I understand the creative process behind that. No, that's pretty hard. I would say you have to find some good middle ground, and I think I did that with at least from the feedback I got from this guy, then, that my contact within this library, and he has a long experience in this business, and he was very pleased with the soundscape that I created.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that's not like one sound only. It can be, but mostly the mix of all these sounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, it's you have to be a bit curious, like explore and try new things, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe be a bit unconventional,
Mm-hmm.
unconventional, because that's the thing he said when he took me on board in on this library. He said, "Are you ready to explore and to do things, fail and do them again, fail again, and then do them again, and then it's good, you know?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I am used to that kind of process, because in a way that was how we worked in Cremata, always improving ourselves as musicians,
Mm-hmm.
practicing, becoming better, and then also as not only individual but also as a group, of course. So it was kind of I understood exactly what he was talking about, but I got super stressed when I started. My first attempt was not what I wanted, and he was like, "Well, you will most likely have to. There are some ideas that are good here, but you will have to redo. You have to." And he tried to explain what he thought I would, the
Mm-hmm.
mindset I would have. And then I start to get a bit stressed, because you start to think, "Do I have it in me? Can
Yeah.
I do this?"
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never done a full album, like 12 tracks in the
Mm-hmm.
same genre, and I haven't done horror tracks in this way. I
Mm-hmm.
have made horror music before, but that has been more classic horror music with like conventional instruments, and you think uh, like piano and strings, and where there is a bit of melody and maybe a theme
Mm-hmm.
that is scary. Think like classic horror movies,
Yeah.
like
Dracula.
Halloween and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe even that goes into the epic also with orchestra. But this is more. This is different. We can talk about this for a long time. We will not. But it's really, I appreciate the curiosity from you guys. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have music on Spotify.
Yeah, you can.
That is though, and I think I've said this before. I haven't had the time to do so much
Mm-hmm.
like other music, if that makes sense. Which was I was prepared for that. I haven't made my own album, my own music, like music that expresses this is exactly this song that I want to make, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be an R&B song, or this is gonna be. I have made production music in different genres,
Mm-hmm.
but it has been for these royalty-free libraries, and
Mm-hmm.
all of those songs in these different genres, also the horror songs I described, the
Mm-hmm.
more melodic ones, whatever have you, can be found on Spotify, on Apple Music, and all the other platforms. And they have been used in a lot of different productions. And it's I don't. Then I'm not Roger Bergstrom. I am BB Music. So
Mm-hmm.
it's basically. I gotta write this.
I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
There you go. That's me on when it comes to production music. So it's everything there from, as I said, some horror tracks, some lo-fi hip hop. From I made early on some electronica. I made pop, like mostly corporate pop, not with like vocals and lyrics, but
Mm-hmm.
instrumental. Because all of these tracks are supposed to work with a voiceover, maybe a travel agency,
Mm-hmm.
where a car is driving in a cool valley. Oh, look at those mountains over there. We're gonna climb, and then things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can check it out if you want to. As said, it's very lighthearted, most of it, because it has to be to suit. How should we say? Most of the time, if you think about it, with a commercial or something, it's mostly about an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Like what are they trying to sell? What are they trying to tell with this commercial? Is it happiness?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a sad theme? Is it nostalgic? Is
Mm-hmm.
it sports? Is it driven? Is it adventure? Th- that's basically the mindset I have tried to have, at least when it comes to making these kind of tracks and songs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much about the actual genre. Apparently, there are different genres, but it's more about, at least when I did the music, it's been like, okay, I tried to achieve this. you know,
Hmm.
this should work. For example, as I made children music for children as well that has been used and bought on these royalty-free music libraries.
It's good
So
stuff.
it's yeah, so it's all there. Then yeah, there we go.
Also,
But
for those who've not followed us for as long as maybe others, if you go to, so I'm sharing the screen right now so you guys can see my screen. If you want to hear Roger's voice in music in the sense of like him singing, you can actually see this. This is him. Yeah.
ooh,
Um. So this is songs like Friday, a
ah,
band that Roger used
nice.
to be a part of. I've actually bought this entire album on iTunes, and it's on my Spotify and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to hear his voice in music, there's also this as well. So you've got BB music if you want to hear the music, the instrumentals, all that kind of stuff, and then you've got songs like Friday if you want to hear him actually singing. So both
Yeah, yeah, as you
amazing.
say, because yeah, Sounds Like Friday together with Maria, that was more an artist project. I think
Yes.
that's important to say, where we presented ourselves as song and singwriters and
Hmm.
artists. What I do when it comes to both BB Music, but also now with this exclusive library writing the horror music, that's production music. That's a
Yes.
different thing, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
it
That's
is.
for a purpose. Sounds Like Friday was music from the heart when me and Maria did. It's like it's indie pop.
It's beautiful music.
It's indie pop. Yeah, I think so.
I
Still, I
still listen
actually.
to it. I still listen to it.
Oh,
Sometimes I'm
nice.
in work
Yeah,
and like I've had some days where I'm in work and I'm just like it's a long day and I just
yeah.
and I just put it on. Actually I put together a
Mhm.
soundtrack for Emmy's birth and I put songs like Friday in the soundtrack. It was a playlist. I had a
Oh,
playlist in
that
there,
is so
so
nice.
it's in the playlist. I think I had two songs
That's
like
cute.
Friday songs in there. I think let me see. Let me confirm. I don't
That's
want.
cool.
Yeah, I put it. I actually. So I put them on my iTunes. So I had
Yeah, it's mostly Maria is the lead singer, but I'm doing background vocals. You would
actually I had
definitely
three.
hear me
I,
there.
I
Yeah.
had I had someone else, Jack and Bubble. Those were the three that
Oh
were in
yeah.
that playlist.
Okay.
So
Ah.
that was in the baby bird playlist. Because Alex had said, "Oh, the
Mm.
doctor said we can have a playlist for the bird." I was like, "These are the songs," and then
That's cool. I'm honored. That's really nice of you. Beautiful. No, it is. It's really nice.
it was brilliant. It's brilliant. So we need to move on.
Cool.
We
Yes.
have more to share with you, beautiful people, and we're
Mhm.
gonna start with the topic of this episode, which is it worth watching Scrubs revival or the Scrubs revival, the revival of the best comedy series that ever did live, ever. So
Mm.
anyway, that's that being said. I mean, I don't know if some of you guys can tell I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Scrubs has been revived on it is back, baby. Oh, Zach Braff is back, and Donald. Oh man, it's good. It's good. So
Good.
this is Zach Braff, Donald Faison, Sarah Chalk, and a few of the other old crew out there as well have come back to do a revival of Scrubs. It's a whole new series. It's coming. I believe they're releasing episodes bit by bit.
Mhm.
It's on Disney Plus,
Oh,
so you can watch it on there. I have watched the first episode so far. I'm gonna just pop it in there with a tick. I am not gonna rate the whole series. I'm just gonna rate the first episode because I've only watched the first episode so far. The first episode is a 10. It is a 10, an absolute 10. Like it was amazing. For those who haven't seen Scrubs, Scrubs is a story about this doctor or this doctor trainee who he's training to become a doctor, and him and this little friends that he makes along the way and his experience. But the main character JD, John Dorian, he's the kind of guy that he lives in his head a lot. So he imagines things, he thinks a lot about stuff. He's sort of just like adorable, but at the same time he's
mhm.
capable at the same time. He's emotional and you can relate to him in some ways. Because sometimes I sit in my head and I'm thinking about something like, if I've got something to do, I'm like, oh my god, should I do this? Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
JD, he does a lot of that. He daydreams a lot. And then he has his best friend, Dr. Turk, Dr. Christopher Turk, Turkleton. For those who are proper fans, you'll know him as Turkleton. And you have Turk and JD. They have this bromance. You know, they love each other. They care about each other. They're friends. There's a whole romance, and even throughout their life of having partners and all this sort of stuff, they've still been the closest friends, even to the point where their partners are convinced that they don't love them as much as they love each other. You know, they're like, look, you know, we are the best buds ever. And even after the first set of Scrubs series finished, they did a podcast together. You know, the actors, Zach Braff and Donald Faison, they did a podcast together for a while. Yeah, it was really, I think it was called the Real Best Friends podcast or something like that. It was something about best friends, fake doctors, something of the sort.
Okay.
Either way, I listened to the podcast back when it was airing at the time, and then they put out a new Scrubs, and I heard about it, and I was like, oh crap, there's a new Scrubs. All right. Cool. So when I saw the first episode, oh my god. It plays on all of the stuff that makes, because it starts off with at the beginning of the episode, it looks ultra realistic. You know, you've got a guy bleeding out, blood everywhere, and it's like, I'm like, oh my god, they've taken a more gritty approach. Like the cameras they're using, the lighting, it's like, ooh, this is not Scrubs. Scrubs is a bit more lighthearted, and then as it goes on, then you find it's sort of like in JD's head, he's imagining it, and it's like typical JD. He's imagining this, and he comes into the hospital, and the jokes are dropping. You know, like there's a scene at the beginning of the episode. I'm gonna spoil this one. If you're a Scrubs fan, skip now. I'm just giving you the warning. If you're a fan, go watch the episode first, and then come back. If you're not a fan, if you're not a fan, I don't care. You need to go and watch the whole of Scrubs. Anyway, point is
exactly
he's there. He comes into the hospital and he meets Carla. Carla is one of the nurses. She's worked there the entire time from the first season. And he's like, she's talking to him. She's like, oh, JD, I didn't know you were coming in. He was like, oh, because she calls him Bambi. She's like, Bambi, what are you doing here? He's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, this and that and so forth. And she's like, does Turk know that you're here? And he was like, no, I didn't tell him. I'm gonna surprise him. And then you got Turk. He's his best friend. He's a surgeon. He's in the surgeon room, and he's like, JD is here. He's like, he's sensed him. And I'm like, oh my God. And the whole time I'm watching this, Emmy's on my chest. I'm like, Emmy, he sensed him. And then they run down the hallway and they see each other. And then they have a thing that they do. It's called Eagle, right? And so Eagle is like, Turk stands like that, and then JD runs up and jumps on his back, and they run around the hospital with on each other's back. And it's like, Eagle! But they do the Eagle, but they're so much older now that they fall down and they're like, oh, my sciatica, oh, my back.
Of course. Oh. It's a bit tougher to go on doing that, right?
It's a bit tougher as they get older.
It's nice to hear. It's a bit, man. I know the series well. I haven't watched it, but I know, definitely. It's one of those that you know about it. You just know.
It is so good.
And I also just want to say, due to the chat, that I recognize.
Oh, it's called The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor.
Yes.
I remember. I think my wife Anna watched that. The autistic young man. Definitely a decent show. And also, you mentioned Nalu ER. I watched ER. Both me and Annalie watched ER together. That was a thing. That was a thing.
Good stuff.
I like that stuff.
I know The Good Doctor. I haven't seen ER.
Jack. Yeah.
But I do know Good Doctor. There was also House as well. House was pretty decent for a while.
Yes, watch that too.
That was pretty decent as well. But yeah, Scrubs, first episode.
Scrubs.
10. I haven't seen the rest yet. But I'm looking forward to the rest. The new characters are looking interesting. JD is just as JD as usual. Turk is just as Turk. Dr. Cox is Coxy as usual. There we go. And honestly, the only thing that could have made this episode better was if they had a few more of the classic characters there, because I was just waiting for Dr. Yan Itor. You know, we haven't seen him. I've heard rumor that he is going to be in there somewhere. For those who don't know that reference, I'm not going to explain it to you. For those who know, Dr. Yanito, he is the best. And we haven't seen him yet, but, fingers crossed we see Dr. Yanito. But yeah, Scrubs is great. It's still as good as I remember it. I enjoyed the first episode. I can't wait to see episode 2. The only thing though is watching on Disney Plus has ads, and that was annoying. So I watched one
True.
episode and then I was like, I'll come back and watch another episode another time because I don't have time to sit through ads. So,
I know. I know.
so
It's that thing. It's that thing.
yep,
But
yep.
yeah, I'm glad you. Yeah, a classic. Look at that now,
Mm,
coming like straight up. I like it.
it's good. It's good. It's currently an
Yeah,
8.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
totally understand that.
I
How
can't
much
give
is
it a
that?
rating yet until I finish it. It's actually
No,
ranked
exactly.
number 30. Am I seeing that correctly? Is it ranked number 33 in the world right now? Most popular? Ooh la la. Scrubs is pretty high up. It's ranked 33 in the world. 33 most
Yeah,
popular on IMDb.
but it's cool when you start to talk about these kind of series. I mean, you guys been name dropping some, for example, you Nalu. I think yeah, I really liked House too. I think
mhm,
he's a good actor. It's a good character that he's portraying there.
yeah.
But also, as you say, Grey's Anatomy. I hasn't watched it, but I recognize it to be a good watch and good series. I totally get that. It seems
I
like these genres, isn't it? Like yeah, like oh wait, we also have the new one, Pit. Isn't it called the Pit or Pit?
I don't know. The thing I would say though, with regards to
Adam is watching it.
Grey's
Oh, yeah, go
Anatomy,
on.
I didn't like Grey's Anatomy. I found it was too much drama for me. Pitt is there.
Yeah, the pit,
The Pit, the
two
Pit,
T's.
the Pit
Check that out.
it's actually
You have,
on. It's number 3 ranked in the world right now on IMDb.
yeah, it's supposed to be good. I know that Adam, my oldest son, is watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife Annalie, as mentioned, two
Mm-hmm.
seasons. The Pit from 2025.
Cool.
Sorry for just going in. If we talked about ER, we have an ER guy here, and that's Dr. Michael. What is his name? Noah Weil. Yeah, his name is Noah Weil. You will
Mm-hmm.
know if you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Where have I
Okay,
seen him
not gonna say too
before?
much.
I'm wondering where.
Haven't you? Was he was in ER? Maybe you didn't watch ER.
I, I'm not sure, but I've seen him. Yeah, I can see ER, but I feel like I've seen him in something else as well.
Oh yes, he's been in other stuff, of course. But yeah, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely seen him in something else, but I just can't remember. Anywho's it? Um,
Yo.
Raj, what have you been watching,
Yes.
man? You've been watching something that I have not heard of. I saw it when I put it
No,
into the show notes, but
hardly me neither. It was a bit like one of those I stumbled upon.
Mhm,
And it was the other day. It was actually yesterday. I just wanted to watch something, and Annalie already had. Maybe it was the pitch she was watching. No, it was another series, and she was like, "No, I know, you know, when she was so into it, she was like, "No, go ahead, you can watch something." Okay, sure. And then I wasn't sure because I am in between series, if that makes sense. You know, some
yes.
has ended and la di da. But yeah, we talked about horror. I've been made this horror album, so I watched a horror movie.
Mhm,
This is a movie from 2024, 2 years
mhm,
ago ish. It's called Abigail.
mhm.
It's available on Netflix and Prime Video. Well,
Yeah,
of course, depends on the region you live in and stuff like that.
yeah.
But what is this then? This is a dark comedy, monster horror, splatter horror. Yeah, it's splatter. There's
Mhm.
quite a lot of blood being
Ooh.
splattered. It's vampire horror. It's action comedy, crime, drama. It has all these in one. I wasn't aware that it would be a bit comedy like. So you know when you start to watch and you're awaiting like horror and this vampire stuff happening, and all of a sudden there's like this thing going on that I wait, is this comedy? I,
Mhm.
I I didn't know, so I was like, wait, what's going on here? This is a bit cringe, right?
Mhm.
But either way, it's about a group of criminals. You will recognize definitely some of the actors here. That kidnaps a ballerina, a 11-year-old maybe ballerina
Mhm.
daughter, she is, of a powerful underworld figure, of course, and they retreat to an isolated mansion. Yes,
Mhm.
mansion, and unaware that they are locked inside with no normal little girl. And I'm not going to spoil it if you want to watch it, because of course it's something with this girl. Something is happening,
To
and
be
sorry, they have a hard time to agree with each other also what they're going to do and how they're going to do things, and there are some quite funny moments. There are also some pretty cool fights, if you will, and yeah, you can fill in. What did you want to
Oh,
say?
I was just saying,
Good.
like I was just looking at the cast, and I see Giancarlo
Yeah,
Esposito, who is this guy's been in like he's in The Boys. He was
yeah,
in Far Cry. Oh, he's quite big. He's oh wow,
yeah, yeah,
interesting. He does play a good bad guy though. Oh, he's such a good bad
yeah, yes.
guy.
Here he's a bit like he's quite kind, like
Really?
nice, a
Oh,
bit like
wow.
big guy, but yeah, a bit like well, insecure maybe.
Hmm.
But no, I had a good time watching. It's not the best film I've ever seen, definitely
Hmm.
not. It has a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. I would definitely stay around 6.
Yeah.
That's the perfect rating, I would say. They've done a good job here. I agree with the people. I think that the casting is well put together. It's very diverse characters.
Mm.
It's like almost if you're going to play a video game, and of course you have that kind of character, that one that's a bit like a weird one, and this is a funny one, and this is you know what I'm saying, right?
You've got archetypes of different
Exactly. It's
yeah.
archetypes,
Yeah.
definitely. And then you have this little girl, and she's acting really well. I think she's both good at being this innocent child, and at the same time, well, not revealing too much, but she can definitely show another side as well.
Yeah.
That is not so kind, and also she plays along well with the comic thing going on also because she's a ballerina and ballerinas like to dance. So you'll see if you watch it. But anyhow, it's a cool watch if you care about these kind of. I mean, the mix of vampire movie, action, comedy, and quite. There are some scenes that are hilarious in that way. If you watch splatter, you know what I'm talking about. Where it's like all of a sudden it's like blood all over the place, and it's a bit over the top, but that's how it is.
It's part of
So
it's what
yeah,
you get when you go into that particular genre or subgenre.
absolutely, yeah. But that's
Part of the call.
Abigail for you. Yeah,
Okay, sounds good.
yeah, it's okay.
I will probably not watch this, but I will add it on my radar of something that I may watch if ever I decide I want to be scared of. Or just purely because Giano is in there, man.
Yeah,
Giancarlo,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know.
It is, no, I said, I mean, again, the mix, the archetypes, it's like, yeah, it's
Yep,
pretty cool,
yep.
And I said, it has this comic thing. So there's a few times when it's like scary, but most of the time it's pretty weird, It's like a bit, over the top kind of, yeah, comedy for you.
Noted.
So there you go. Yeah,
All right, that sounds good. Abigail, it is. So about some video game search.
yeah,
Let's jump straight into what you've been playing, which is on the
sure.
screen right now, which has been on the screen the
Yes.
entire time during the episode, which
I
is Resident Evil Requiem, which you've continued playing, correct?
I have so continued. I played so much. And it's I'm so glad. It was a long time ago since I played whatever game that is this good. And I think I hinted this even before. Now I am 50% or more into
In the
the
game.
game. So I can with confidence say that I still stand by what I said,
Hmm.
I think last week or the week before. This is a really, really good game. It's interesting that I've talked about the horror album that I have finished and now gonna, the stems I'm doing, and then watched the horror movie yesterday and
Resident Evil.
played a horror game. But hey, that's me in a bit. But no, it's really good. Again, the game looks great. It's really good graphics. And for a single player game and like this with these environments too, like a mansion style and big buildings and the beautiful garden and also when the horror comes around the corner, it's very immersive, very immersive.
Hmm.
And as said, I like the storyline. I like how they switch, not too often, which is also good. Switch between this to begin with innocent new FBI girl, which is Grace, and then sometimes you go over and play Leon, which
Seasons.
is of course the veteran. He's very strong here too. He's great. Love to play with him. Uh, but so it's cool. It's really cool. It's good zombie action and good. And as I said, I also like the fact that they've added something partly new when it comes to the zombies. And I mentioned this before that they have a bit of their humanity left,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that you can kind of see patterns with some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one was working as a janitor, like in a building, and you can see he's trying to go and turn off lights and switch them on. And
Mm-hmm.
if you see that, you might also see that, okay, he's walking there now, coming back, walking there again. Okay, I can actually pass him. I don't need to kill him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I waste bullets, and bullets can be, depending on difficulty level, you don't have too many.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just enjoying the game. I really, it's hard to find games nowadays to just put in that state of simple joy. I agree, especially also for me, since I play so much online multiplayer games, right,
Mm.
and live service games, and there's been quite a few that I haven't enjoyed.
Yeah.
The last 6 months or almost a year, it's been not that great with the FPS genre, at least not for me, since I'm not also so much into like extraction shooters. So I haven't played Arc Raiders, even though I definitely consider it to be a good game. I understand that. I played the play tests, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get the game. Marathon by Bungie, we're not going to talk about that. No. But even so, with that said, I am happy that, yeah, in also genres that I like when it comes to playing single player games, which, and horror is one of them, that they nailed it. I think Capcom has a department when it comes to these games that are doing so good things.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it for quite a while now, but I think this, and I can say this even though I haven't finished the game yet, but I've come far, that this is definitely one of the best Resident Evil games I've played, and I've played them all,
Yeah.
and there's quite a few titles. So, wow, yeah, yeah. At the end of the year, I think it will be one of the game of the year competitors, but there's more games out there, of course, and I mean we have GTA coming later, and all this stuff. So we'll see what happens.
I think it's definitely going to be a game of the year contender for sure. I've been looking at the gameplay throughout the podcast, and I'm looking at it right now as well, and I can just say like, wow, it is definitely an
Yeah.
amazing looking
Have you
game.
have you seen me? I haven't watched like the gameplay now, but have you seen me? Which is also so nice. Some of these I remember from Resident Evil 4 when you played with Leon.
Mhm.
You had a girl. I mean, she was adult, right? But
Yeah,
wait, what was her name?
I can't remember the name, but you had
Oh,
to escort her everywhere, and she was a pain in the ass.
exactly. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass in a way, but an interesting system. You did escort her. You said follow, and
Hmm.
she followed, and then Leon could say wait, and she
Hmm.
waited. So you could maybe move ahead and kill one or two zombies, clear the way. And if it was too hectic, you could say, if you were standing close to a box or something, you could
Hmm.
say hide, and she stepped into the box and hid herself. This is really cool, and it brings some nice dynamics in this game. Spoiling a bit,
Yeah.
this is a bit of a spoiler. I say this now when it comes to Resident Evil Requiem, the new game. You will, as Grace,
Hmm.
carry around later in the game with a girl.
Oh.
Her name is Emily.
Okay.
Yeah, and you carry her around. You carry her around, and when you do that, you can't defend yourself. You can't do anything because you're carrying her. You can't raise your knife or gun or whatever have you.
Hmm.
So what you can do is just play tactical, stealthy, and find a sofa, mostly in these like safe places where you can save also with this typewriter. The typewriter is still around. Love it.
Hmm. Classic.
Then you can put her on a sofa so she can sit there and just wait. She's blind, by the way, so she can't see. So yeah, you gotta. That's why you're carrying her like that in those horrible environments sometimes.
Noted, noted. To be quite frank, the game looks amazing, and I will. This is one of those where not saying that I might. This is I will pick up at some point with the other to play. I'll probably wait for a sale for this one, because
Oh
time
yeah,
wise, I know I'm probably just not going to play it immediately.
no.
But I will pick this up and jump in and play it. The thing I regret though is that the remakes were actually quite cheap at some point in time. I was gonna be able to get all of the remakes at one point in time, and I had it all on a website waiting to purchase, and I just put it off for something else, and then they sold out, all the copies, and then
Aha,
the price
okay,
the price went back up, and I was like, oh no, I'll
right.
have to wait till it goes on sale again. So, yeah, I've
Typical.
been because I want to. If I'm gonna play this one, I'm gonna play over the whole series. I'll start from one, work my way up,
Yeah,
go through the whole thing, and then jump into Requiem later down the line. So it will happen at some point or the other.
yeah.
But this is definitely a yes for me. I've got a colleague in work he's constantly going on. He's like, Q, you got it?
Yeah, I
Have you got it
remember you
yet?
told me that. Yeah.
Have you got it yet, Q? It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I have played Resident Evil games before. I've played Resident
Yeah.
Evil 4. I've played Resident
Right.
Evil 5. I played let me see, which Resident Evil did I play? I played 4. I played 5. I think I know I played one of the original ones where it was 3 or 2. One of those I played.
Okay.
Back in the day, but yeah, I think those are the ones that I played the most would have been 4 and 5, because I had 4 on the GameCube and I had 5 on the Xbox 360. Those are the Resident Evil games that I played. I think after that they had, I think, was it 6, which didn't get a lot of good feedback. I didn't really pick up 6, and then I just kind of dropped off after that. So yeah, but Requiem's here. We'll check it out in due time. That being said, let's talk about some other video games. I've been playing eFootball as per usual, and when I say I've been playing, I mean I haven't. I've actually not been playing eFootball. It's the weirdest thing. I have not been gaming. I've literally been so busy. I've come in, I've turned on the game, and turned it off and went to sleep. And I think last night was the only night that I played maybe a few matches, and it was because I'd completed something that I needed to do. I really didn't have, just before bed, and I was like, okay, cool, I could probably play a few games. I got a few games in, and then after that I went to bed. And I will say this much, like you were talking about live service games, the game is not in a good state where I'm happy, which is also part of the reason I'm not playing as much. I mean, I have been really busy, but also I've not been craving to play it at the same time. It's just been like, it's not in a good state right now. I don't really care. So, so I haven't had much time to play E. It is... whatever what will be. At some point or the other, I will. At some point or the other, they will fix something and it will work, and I will play. So, yeah, it is.
It is like that.
It is what it
life
is.
is life. Life is life.
Life is life. Okay.
Yeah.
With that, I am really gassy. I think it's the cheese I had. I just hope you guys have not been. I hope you guys haven't been hearing my flatulence. If you have, I do apologize.
Not.
But I'm really gassy. I need to get something to drink. I need some liquid in me to clear up this thing. I'm very lactose intolerant, and I just had cheese. So with that, guys, how about we get out of here, Rog? I think we have a podcast.
Yeah, we should do that. As always, thank you for taking your time, listening to us, watching a bit, and hope you had a good time. We did have a good time, and we've shared some experiences, life experiences, and stuff like that, and of course also what we like to play and watch and all that beautiful stuff. So with that said, take care. Have a good continuation of your day, but also your week, and hopefully we meet up next week if you have the time. So with that said, muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. So with that, guys, thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Beautiful Life podcast. You can find Rog at 40 Split Splash. That's number 40 SPLISH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct. And you can find me at LP Garden, that's LPGRDIN, Garden you, pretty much everywhere else. Or you can find us at Simply Binge UK. And as always, we wouldn't like you guys to miss on any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like you subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, simplybinge.com, and elsewhere. And with the company they're gonna like it, I will give them for free. So, as always, guys, this has been queued for your pleasure. It's a wrap, and that's an episode. It is going to be interesting to go through and read these comments later. You guys, you and Nalu and Alex had quite a conversation in here. I think we missed most of it. Oh, did we? We've seen quite a bit of it. But anyway,
we have.
I am going to go get something to drink.
Yeah, me too. Definitely.
It's wet. And then if Emmy's still awake, I'm going to go cuddle her. I know the boys are in bed already, so I will not see them today. I've actually had this whole like a documentary series I wanted to watch with them for like the whole week. I've been thinking, oh my gosh, I want to watch this with them, but I've been so busy. So hopefully tomorrow when I get in from work, I'll be able to be like, boys, what, like,
sit down.
Let's do a us thing where it's just me and the lads sitting down watching a documentary together, like the old times. It's gonna be great. Oh, we'll see. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll see how it goes. So with that, guys, we're still on here. Let's end the podcast.
Yeah, you have the button.
I do have to hit the button. Yeah.